Every distraction you entertain steals a piece of your greatness. But when you focus on becoming more valuable, more skilled, more disciplined, wealth follows. Not just financial wealth, but the wealth of respect, opportunity, and personal power. If you keep chasing everything, you gain nothing. But if you build yourself, you attract everything. The world doesn't reward noise, it rewards value. Will you rise to your true worth or remain hidden in plain sight? The answer defines the rest of your life. In a few moments, you'll learn how to focus on becoming more valuable and wealthy than ever before, starting from within. Your value determines your wealth. You don't get paid for the hour, you get paid for the value you bring to the hour. And if your value is low, your income will reflect it without mercy. That's not a punishment, it's a law of life. So the real question is not, how do I make more money? The real question is, how do I become more valuable? Because value attracts wealth like a magnet pulls metal. You become valuable by increasing what you know, mastering how you think, and polishing how you show up. Every book you read, every skill you develop, every relationship you nurture, it all adds to your value. But here's the problem. Most people stop growing the moment they stop going to school. They treat graduation like a finish line, not realizing it's only the start of true education. You must decide now to outgrow who you were yesterday. Train your mind daily. Study the lives of those who became invaluable. George Washington didn't rise to power because he was the loudest. He rose because he became indispensable. A man people trusted to carry the burden of leadership. Ask yourself, can the world count on you? Can your family rely on your wisdom? Can your team follow your vision? If not, then your next move is clear. Work on becoming that person. Wealth is attracted, not chased. You can chase money your whole life and still die broke. Because money doesn't respond to desperation, it responds to order. It comes when you operate in alignment with purpose, clarity, and discipline. So you don't need to run after wealth. You need to become the kind of person wealth runs toward. Think of your mind as a magnet. If it's cluttered with fear, envy, and doubt, it repels prosperity. But if it's clean, full of gratitude, focus, and integrity, it attracts opportunities without struggle. The wealthy didn't just earn money, they became it inside first. To attract wealth, clean your habits. Tidy your thoughts, show up early, stay late, and do the hard work with a glad heart. This isn't about perfection, it's about precision. You must become excellent in your craft, excellent in your character, and excellent in your commitment. John D. Rockefeller didn't inherit wealth, he attracted it by mastering both oil and opportunity. While others gambled and guessed, he planned and persisted. Wealth is a response, not a reward. So the question isn't, how do I chase success? The question is, how do I prepare to receive it? The wealthiest individuals understand that prosperity follows preparation. They create systems that generate value consistently, not sporadic efforts fueled by desperation. Money is attracted to order, to businesses that solve real problems, to investments made with patience, to disciplines maintained when no one is watching. Consider how nature operates. A garden doesn't chase the sun, it positions itself to receive light. Similarly, wealth flows toward those positioned correctly in the economic ecosystem. Your financial habits form the soil in which prosperity grows. Debt repels opportunity while savings attract options. Impulse spending creates chaos while strategic investing creates order. Each decision either magnetizes or repels abundance. The wealthy don't just have different bank accounts, they have different belief systems. They see money as a natural result of value creation, not as something to be hunted or hoarded. They understand that wealth generation is a byproduct of becoming valuable, not a primary target to be desperately pursued. So stop the exhausting chase. Instead, develop the character, competence, and consistency that naturally attracts prosperity. Build your expertise until the market can't ignore you. Cultivate relationships rooted in genuine value exchange. Solve problems with such excellence that compensation becomes inevitable. Remember, wealth doesn't come to those who want it most. It comes to those who deserve it most by how they think, what they create, and who they become. Set goals. So clear. They burn. Most people walk around with foggy dreams and wonder why nothing works. If your goals aren't clear, your actions won't matter. A vague goal never creates a powerful life. Clarity is the foundation of movement. You can't hit a target you don't see. Setting goals isn't just writing something down. It's sculpting your future with fire. It's declaring, this is who I will become, and this is what I will achieve. Your goals should make you uncomfortable, not because they're impossible, but because they require your transformation. Break down your goals into 3 pieces. What do you want? When do you want it? And what price are you willing to pay? Then look in the mirror and ask, are you willing to pay that price? In discipline, in sacrifice, in focus. Winston Churchill's goal was not vague. He wanted victory, total and unshakable. That level of clarity guided a nation through chaos. That's the kind of clarity you must carry. So write your goals, etch them into your heart, and read them every morning like a warrior reads his battle orders. Don't tiptoe into your future. March into it with boldness. When you set clear goals, your subconscious mind begins working toward them even when you rest. Your brain becomes a heat-seeking missile, detecting opportunities invisible to the unfocused mind. Clarity creates momentum. The specificity of your goals determines the power of your actions. Every morning when you wake up, you should know exactly what mountain you're climbing. This precision eliminates decision fatigue and focuses your energy like a laser cutting through steel. Your goals must be written, measured, and reviewed. What remains unexamined becomes forgotten. What remains unmeasured cannot be improved. Your goals aren't wishes, they're commitments etched in time. The most successful people don't have better opportunities. They have better clarity. They don't hope for success, they define it in advance. They don't wonder what to do each day, they've already decided what matters most. So burn away the fog of ambiguity. Define your targets with such precision that missing becomes almost impossible. Let your goals be so clear they wake you up at night and pull you forward during the day. Remember, clarity isn't just a component of success, it's the foundation. Without it, all your efforts become a scattered, wasted force. With it, even ordinary actions accumulate into extraordinary results. Guard your time like treasure. Time is the currency of your life. Spend it on anything, and that's what you become. Waste it, and you waste your future. Wealthy minds treat time like sacred ground. They don't just fill hours, they multiply moments. You must learn to say no with love, and yes with strategy. Every distraction carries a cost. Every wasted hour robs your future self. Your time must be protected from gossip, from negativity, from people who drain and never build. Track your time for 1 week. Write down where each hour goes. You'll be shocked to see how much of your destiny you are handing away for free. Take it back. Benjamin Franklin said, "Do not squander time, for that's the stuff life is made of." Well, he didn't just create inventions, he created hours that worked for him. That's how he built value. So, from now on, treat your time like a bank account that only withdraws. Invest your time where it compounds, on learning, on building, on creating. Time is not renewable, but its impact can echo forever. Most people treat time as plentiful when it's actually finite. They surrender hours to activities that return nothing. Scrolling through feeds that don't feed their futures, engaging in conversations that go nowhere, and working on tasks that don't move their lives forward. These are not innocent habits, they are withdrawals from your life's potential. The wealthy and accomplished understand something fundamental. Time abundance is an illusion. We all have exactly 24 hours daily. The difference lies not in having more time, but in how ruthlessly we protect and strategically allocate each precious minute. Consider how you approach interruptions. The average person lets their focus be hijacked dozens of times daily. Each interruption costs not just the time of the distraction itself, but also the 23 minutes required to fully regain concentration. This is why deep work, focused, uninterrupted creation must be scheduled and defended like your most important meetings. Begin treating your calendar as a fortress, not a suggestion box. Block time for your highest priorities first, before others can claim it. Remember that an open calendar is an invitation for others to determine your life's direction. Guard your mornings especially. These golden hours of fresh energy should belong to your most important work, not to reactive tasks or others' emergencies. Learn to audit your commitments regularly. Ask yourself, if I wasn't already doing this, would I start now? If the answer is no, begin creating an exit strategy. The courage to eliminate good activities to make room for great ones separates the extraordinary from the merely busy. The quality of your life ultimately depends on the quality of your time allocation. When you protect your time, you protect your potential. You safeguard your ability to create value, to serve with excellence, and to build a legacy that outlasts you. Start today by identifying your 3 most valuable activities, those that create disproportionate results in your life and work. Then ruthlessly eliminate, delegate, or minimize everything else. Don't just manage time, invest it where the returns are highest. Guard your time like the irreplaceable treasure it is, and watch as your life transforms from busy to purposeful, from scattered to focused, from ordinary to extraordinary. Build character before wealth. Many people want wealth, but few want to become the kind of person who can carry it. That's why wealth slips through so many hands. Money without character is a disaster waiting to happen. Real wealth begins in your spirit. Character means you do the right thing when it's inconvenient, when no one applauds, and when you could get away with the opposite. It means you keep your word, you handle pressure with grace, and you treat people with respect no matter their title. The wealthiest people in history were not just rich in bank accounts, they were rich in values. Andrew Carnegie built an empire but gave away billions. He believed wealth without generosity was poverty in disguise. His character multiplied his influence. Start with small acts. Tell the truth when it costs. Return what isn't yours. Finish what you promised. Those things build a kind of wealth that no market crash can erase. So ask yourself, can your future trust you? Can wealth rest in your hands without fear of being misused? If not, build the foundation first. Then watch the riches rise like a temple on solid ground. Character is the hidden architecture of success. While skills and strategies might build your fortune, only character can sustain it. History is littered with brilliant, talented individuals who collapsed under the weight of their own success because their character couldn't bear the load. Their talents took them to heights their integrity couldn't maintain. The market pays for skill, but it rewards character. Anyone can learn tactics, but integrity must be forged through choices, often painful ones. Each time you honor your commitments when walking away would be easier. Each time you acknowledge a mistake when hiding it seems safer. Wealth is attracted, not chased. You can chase money your whole life and still die broke. Because money doesn't respond to desperation, it responds to order. It comes when you operate in alignment with purpose, clarity, and discipline. So you don't need to run after wealth. You need to become the kind of person wealth runs toward. Think of your mind as a magnet. If it's cluttered with fear, envy, and doubt, it repels prosperity. But if it's clean, full of gratitude, focus, and integrity, it attracts opportunities without struggle. The wealthy didn't just earn money, they became it inside first. To attract wealth, clean your habits, tidy your thoughts, show up early, stay late, and do the hard work with a glad heart. This isn't about perfection, it's about precision. You must become excellent in your craft, excellent in your character, and excellent in your commitment. John D. Rockefeller didn't inherit wealth, he attracted it by mastering both oil and opportunity. True wealth isn't measured by what you have, but by what has you. Are you controlled by greed or guided by purpose? Do you worship status or value substance? These questions expose whether you're building wealth or merely chasing money. Begin the character building process now, regardless of your financial situation. Practice radical honesty in all your dealings. Fulfill obligations enthusiastically, not grudgingly. Give credit generously and take blame readily. Seek feedback on your blind spots. These practices may not appear on a balance sheet, but they create the bedrock upon which lasting prosperity is built. Remember that character, once established, works like compound interest. Invisible at first, then suddenly substantial. It attracts opportunities that money alone cannot buy. Trust, loyalty, and the chance to make a meaningful difference. Build character first. Let wealth follow. This sequence is not just moral wisdom, it's practical strategy for creating prosperity that transforms rather than corrupts. Discipline is the gatekeeper of wealth. No dream survives without discipline. It is the invisible wall between where you are and where you want to be. Talent may open the door, but only discipline keeps it open. Without it, even the most brilliant minds fall into mediocrity. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's showing up when you're tired, focusing when you're distracted, and pushing through when you're uninspired. Discipline builds resilience, and resilience builds value. Begin with structure. Wake up at the same time daily. Stick to a schedule that feeds your vision. Avoid temptations that drain your energy. Build rituals that nourish your future. Discipline is like a muscle. It strengthens through repetition. Nikola Tesla lived with near monk-like discipline, often working 20-hour days fueled by vision and focus. While others partied, he prepared. That's why his legacy shapes your world today. Ask yourself daily, are your habits aligned with your ambitions? If not, redesign your life until they are. 4. Your future isn't built on occasional effort. It's built on consistent commitment. Most people misunderstand discipline. They see it as punishment rather than liberation. True discipline doesn't constrain your life. It expands your capabilities. It doesn't diminish pleasure. It deepens satisfaction. The disciplined individual doesn't have less freedom. They have more impact. Look at any field of human achievement. Behind every masterpiece, breakthrough, and fortune stands the silent force of disciplined practice. The painter who shows up daily at their canvas, the entrepreneur who reviews numbers when others rest, the writer who produces pages whether inspired or not. Their secret isn't talent or luck. It's the unglamorous commitment to consistent action. Discipline creates the gap between the average and the exceptional. While talent is distributed equally across populations, discipline is not. This is why individuals with modest abilities often outperform brilliant counterparts. They've harnessed the compound effect of daily disciplines. Small actions that seem insignificant in isolation, but become transformative when stacked over time. Financial wealth follows the same principles. The wealthy aren't necessarily more intelligent or privileged. They're more disciplined with their resources. They make conscious choices about spending rather than emotional ones. They invest systematically rather than sporadically. They delay gratification not from self-denial, but from understanding the mathematics of compounding returns. Modern society has weaponized distraction. Every notification, entertainment option, and convenience is engineered to erode your discipline. Resisting these forces isn't just personal preference, it's strategic warfare for your future. Each time you choose focus over distraction, you're not just completing a task, you're building the capacity for wealth creation. The most powerful form of discipline is invisible to others. It's the private victories that precede public success. Declining the extra drink, rising before required, reading instead of watching, saving instead of spending. These hidden disciplines create an unshakable foundation that supports visible achievement. Begin cultivating wealth-building discipline today. Start small. 5 minutes of focused work, one deliberate choice, a single habit upgraded. Then expand gradually. Discipline doesn't demand perfection. It rewards consistency. The goal isn't flawless performance, but unstoppable progress. Remember that discipline serves your vision, not the other way around. Without a compelling purpose, discipline becomes empty drudgery. With purpose, however, it transforms into passionate persistence. Define what matters deeply to you, then build disciplines that serve that vision. Your greatest wealth will come not from what you occasionally pursue with intensity, but from what you consistently follow with discipline. This is the gatekeeper's test, and those who pass build fortunes that transcend the merely financial. Become irreplaceable in what you do. You were not born to be average. You were born to master something so well that the world cannot ignore you. The path to true wealth lies in becoming irreplaceable. Not because you do what others do, but because you do what others can't. Most people dabble, few commit. While the crowd switches passions every month, you must go deeper. You must become the best at solving one problem. The deeper your mastery, the more valuable your presence. Start by identifying the one thing you can do better than most. Then give it everything. Study, practice, improve, repeat. Excellence is not a gift. It's a choice you make every hour. Isaac Newton didn't invent gravity. He observed it so deeply the world still learns from him. He made himself irreplaceable by going where no mind had gone before. So ask, in your line of work, would anyone notice if you stopped showing up? If the answer is no, then your path is clear. Build yourself until the answer is yes. The modern economy rewards specialization with unparalleled abundance. While generalists struggle for recognition, specialists command premium compensation. This isn't coincidence. It's the natural outcome of focused expertise. When you solve a specific problem better than anyone else, you don't just earn a living, you earn leverage. Irreplaceability begins with a decision to become exceptional in one domain rather than adequate in many. This doesn't mean ignoring complementary skills, but rather building your life around a core competency that becomes your signature contribution. Your goal isn't to do more things, it's to do one thing with such extraordinary skill that it creates its own demand. Consider the craftspeople who command six-figure fees for their work. They aren't selling products, they're selling decades of refined judgment, thousands of hours of deliberate practice, and solutions that cannot be easily replicated. Their uniqueness creates scarcity, and scarcity creates value. The path to irreplaceability requires intellectual honesty about your current position. Most people overestimate their short-term capabilities while underestimating their long-term potential. They quit when mastery seems distant, switching to another field where they restart as novices. This cycle guarantees perpetual mediocrity. Break it by committing to depth over breadth. Begin with brutal self-assessment. What problems do you solve better than most in your current circle? Where do your natural aptitudes intersect with market needs? Then chart a deliberate path toward mastery. Read not just one book, but every significant work in your field. Study not just the rules, but the exceptions. Learn not just from successes, but from failures. The irreplaceable professional doesn't just meet standards, they create new ones. They redefine what excellence looks like in their domain. They push boundaries not for ego, but because that's where breakthrough value emerges. When you operate at this level, you don't compete for opportunities, opportunities compete for you. Remember that irreplaceability isn't just technical mastery, it's also interpersonal distinctiveness. How you solve problems, communicate solutions, and navigate relationships creates a professional fingerprint as unique as your DNA. Cultivate this signature approach until clients and colleagues can recognize your work without seeing your name. The journey to becoming irreplaceable demands sacrifice. You'll forgo the dabbler's variety for the master's depth. You'll trade instant gratification for delayed excellence. You'll work while others rest. But these investments compound over time, creating a professional moat that protects you from commoditization. Start today. Choose your domain of mastery. Then commit to it with monastic focus. Your irreplaceability won't emerge overnight, but with consistent investment, it will become your most valuable asset, one that no market downturn, technology shift, or competitor can diminish. Feed your mind with the right fuel. You become what you consume. Just like the body can't thrive on junk, your mind can't thrive on noise. If your inputs are weak, your output will be weaker. You must guard what enters your mind like a soldier guards a gate. That means eliminating garbage news, toxic conversations, and anything that plants doubt or fear in your spirit. Instead, read powerful books. Listen to people who've done what you dream of. Speak words that align with who you want to become. Make a list of daily mental fuel. A morning quote, a chapter of wisdom, a conversation with someone who lifts you. Keep your mind sharp and your emotions clean. Charles Spurgeon, the preacher of power, read hundreds of books before he was 20. His mind was fed with wisdom, not foolishness. That's why his words still ignite souls today. Remember, what you think becomes how you act, and how you act determines what you earn. So if you want more from life, start with what you're feeding your mind. The human mind operates as a sophisticated filter system, processing thousands of inputs daily and transforming them into beliefs, decisions, and ultimately results. Yet most people leave this filtering process to chance, absorbing whatever information happens to cross their path. This passive approach guarantees mediocre outcomes. Wealthy, successful individuals understand that mental consumption is as strategic as financial investment. They recognize that attention is their most precious currency and allocate it with deliberate intention. They know that every piece of information that enters their consciousness becomes part of their internal operating system. Begin treating your mental diet with the same discipline you would apply to physical nutrition. Audit your information sources ruthlessly. Does that newsfeed generate insights or anxiety? Do those social media accounts inspire or deplete? Are your conversations elevating your thinking or keeping you trapped in outdated paradigms? The highest performers establish mental consumption routines that prioritize wisdom over trivia. They begin each day with focused inputs, inspirational reading, strategic thinking, or creative exploration before the world can hijack their attention. They understand that morning hours set the trajectory for their entire day. Protect your mind from information that triggers low vibration emotions, envy, fear, outrage, and victimhood. These emotional states might feel temporarily satisfying, but create internal chemistry that clouds judgment and diminishes performance. Replace them with content that cultivates clarity, confidence, creativity, and compassion. Your mental diet should include regular exposure to ideas beyond your comfort zone. Seek out perspectives that challenge your assumptions but expand your thinking. This isn't about consuming opposing viewpoints that merely trigger defensiveness, but about encountering transformative frameworks that elevate your understanding. Remember that inputs aren't limited to information. The environments you inhabit, the questions you contemplate, and the challenges you embrace all shape your mental landscape. Design experiences that strengthen rather than diminish your cognitive capability. The disciplined mind doesn't just consume better information, it processes that information more effectively. Develop practices that deepen your relationship with valuable content, journaling insights, teaching concepts to others, or applying ideas immediately in your work. This metabolic process transforms information from temporary knowledge into permanent wisdom. Begin today by eliminating one toxic information source and replacing it with one source of genuine wisdom. Your mind will reflect this upgrade immediately, and your life will follow. For your thoughts become your actions become your habits, and your habits become your destiny. Take full ownership of your life. The moment you blame is the moment you lose power. Excuses may comfort you, but they rob your strength. If you want to become wealthy, you must take complete responsibility for everything in your life. Yes, even the hard parts. Ownership is not about fault. It's about control. If someone else is to blame, then someone else holds the keys to your future. But if it's in your hands, you can shape it. Start with the small things, your attitude, your habits, your reactions. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't depend on luck. Build your world with your hands and mind. So ask yourself, what are you waiting on? Who are you blaming? Take the reins. It's your life. Make it count. Ownership begins with a fundamental shift in perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I do with this? This pivot transforms you from victim to creator, from passenger to driver. The circumstances may not be your choice, but your response always is. Most people live in reaction to their environment. They blame the economy, their upbringing, their boss, or their limitations. This narrative feels safe. After all, if external forces control your destiny, failure isn't your fault. But this comfort comes at a devastating price, your power. True ownership means abandoning the search for someone or something to blame. It means looking in the mirror and declaring, I am responsible for where I am, and I am capable of creating where I go. This stance may initially feel heavier, but it's actually liberating. When you own your situation, you own the solutions. Consider how this principle applies to wealth creation. The average person blames insufficient income, bad timing, or lack of opportunities for their financial situation. The wealthy person asks, how can I increase my value? How can I serve more effectively? How can I turn this obstacle into an opening? They don't wait for perfect conditions. They create conditions that work. Ownership extends beyond your actions to your emotions. Many believe their feelings are caused by external events. You made me angry, or this situation is stressing me out. This perspective surrenders emotional sovereignty to circumstances. Take ownership by recognizing that your interpretations, not external events, create your emotional states. Begin practicing radical responsibility in small ways. When you make a mistake, own it immediately without qualification. When projects falter, ask what you could have done differently rather than highlighting others' shortcomings. When obstacles appear, focus exclusively on factors within your control. The ownership mindset becomes most powerful during adversity. While others use difficult circumstances as reasons to lower expectations, the ownership-driven individual uses them as opportunities to demonstrate resourcefulness. They understand that constraints often spark creativity that comfort never could. Remember that taking ownership doesn't mean shouldering blame for things genuinely beyond your control. It means refusing to use those things as excuses. You didn't cause the rainstorm, but you can choose to carry an umbrella. You didn't create economic turbulence, but you can adapt your strategy accordingly. The wealth that lasts isn't built on fortunate circumstances, but on this ownership mentality. It manifests as reliability that clients trust, as resilience that survives market shifts, and as resourcefulness that transforms problems into profits. Begin today. Identify one area where you've been waiting for someone else to change or something else to happen. Now ask, what can I do regardless of these external factors? That question activates ownership, and ownership activates everything else. Expand your circle. Elevate your life. Your environment is either your cage or your catalyst. If you spend time with small minds, you will shrink. But if you surround yourself with big vision, big action, and bold dreams, you will expand. You grow into the people you associate with. Audit your circle. Who challenges you to rise? Who inspires your greatness? And who keeps you grounded in excuses? You must be ruthless in choosing your circle. Begin by seeking mentors. Learn from those ahead of you. Build friendships based on progress, not comfort. Collaborate with people who make you better, not bitter. Look at the industrialist James Watt. His innovations sparked the Industrial Revolution, but only after years of working with other great minds. Iron sharpens iron. So today, elevate your company. If you're the smartest in the room, change rooms. Surround yourself with people who force you to level up. Wealth flows where wisdom gathers. The human mind is magnetically drawn to its surroundings. You absorb the attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors of those you spend the most time with, often without conscious awareness. This invisible influence shapes your ambitions, limits your expectations, and ultimately determines your outcomes. Your circle doesn't just reflect who you are, it predicts who you'll become. Most people choose their associations based on convenience, comfort, or chance. They surround themselves with whoever happens to be geographically close or emotionally familiar. But extraordinary achievement requires extraordinary inputs. You must deliberately engineer your environment to elevate rather than limit your potential. Begin with a candid assessment of your current circle. Do they celebrate your growth or subtly undermine it? Do they focus on problems or solutions? Do they invest in their own development or remain static? The answers reveal whether your relationships are appreciating assets or depreciating liabilities. Strategic relationship building isn't about manipulation or abandoning loyal friends. It's about expanding your circle to include those who pull you forward. Maintain your foundational relationships while actively cultivating connections with those operating at higher levels of achievement, creativity, and impact. Seek out the company of individuals who have already manifested what you aspire to create. Their presence normalizes excellence and recalibrates your sense of what's possible. Their standards become your standards. Their habits become your habit. Their expansive thinking stretches your own mental boundaries. The wealth-building power of strategic relationships extends beyond inspiration. Your network becomes your opportunity ecosystem. Ideas flow, doors open, and resources materialize through the connections you cultivate. The most valuable opportunities rarely come through formal channels. They emerge through relationship networks operating at the leading edge of industries and ideas. Diversify your circle across different domains of excellence. Connect with masters of craft, business visionaries, thought leaders, and those with exceptional character. This diversity of perspective prevents blind spots and generates innovative combinations that create unique value. Remember that elevation requires reciprocity. Don't just extract value, create it. Become the kind of person others seek to have in their circle. Cultivate qualities that elevate those around you. Thoughtful listening, authentic encouragement, valuable insights, relentless reliability, and unwavering integrity. The path to wealth and impact travels directly through the quality of your relationship. Choose wisely, cultivate intentionally, and watch as your external circle elevates your internal standards. Your life expands not by accident, but by association with those who refuse to settle for less than extraordinary. Master the power of focus. In a world teeming with distractions, focus stands as the ultimate competitive advantage. The ability to direct your complete attention toward a single meaningful pursuit isn't just valuable, it's transformative. While most drift between scattered efforts, those who harness focus consistently outperform the distracted majority. Focus isn't merely about concentration, it's about intentional dedication to what truly matters. When you commit your mental energy toward one significant objective with unwavering determination, remarkable shifts begin to occur. Your productivity multiplies, your expertise deepens, your impact intensifies. As the noise fades away, clarity emerges. Cultivating focus requires deliberate boundary setting. This means ruthlessly eliminating digital interruptions by silencing notifications and creating sacred blocks of uninterrupted, deep work time. It means learning to decline commitments that dilute your effectiveness. Most crucially, it means embracing the power of sequential mastery, tackling one meaningful goal until completion before moving to the next. The multitasking myth has cost countless hours of true productivity. Research consistently demonstrates that the human brain performs optimally when fully engaged with a single complex task. Each context switch creates cognitive drag. Imagine redirecting the energy currently scattered across dozens of partial commitments toward your single most important objective. What might you achieve with a year of such focused effort? What innovations might you create? What skills might you master? What problems might you solve? In embracing focus, you don't just improve productivity, you reclaim autonomy. Rather than constantly reacting to external demands, you consciously direct your limited time and energy toward what genuinely matters. This intentionality ripples through every aspect of life, bringing clarity where confusion once reigned. The choice is simple but profound. Continue drifting with the distracted majority, or join the focused few who transform possibilities into reality. Your capacity for focus may be the defining factor in whether your greatest ambitions remain dreams or become achievements. Learn to speak the language of value. The way you communicate directly influences how others perceive your worth. Your words aren't just sounds, they're powerful signals that broadcast your value to everyone you encounter. When your language lacks precision or conviction, it undermines your impact. Conversely, when you express yourself with clarity, confidence, and vision, people instinctively recognize your value and respond accordingly. The most influential leaders throughout history mastered this critical skill, communicating in ways that command respect and inspire action. They understood that true leadership communication isn't about linguistic sophistication, but about conveying unwavering